Hi, my name is Roseanne Ubarra-Cunanan. I was born here in Queens, and I grew up in a small town in Long Island. My mother and father are both from the Philippines. My mother is from a small town in Laguna called Pangil, and my dad was from Negros, a small town also called Benigobagan. I am the program director at the Filipino American Human Services. We are one of the largest human service organizations for Filipinos in New York. I work mainly with the youth program, high school students, and I also oversee the senior citizens program and the women's support group. The center is really important to young Filipino Americans because it's a place for them to learn about who they are, about their culture. A lot of times you're not going to see that in regular school textbooks. You don't learn any of that history or any of that culture. So the center is a safe space to learn about your culture and to also meet other people. In New York City, everything is so fast-paced. You're in school, you're home, you're at work. You just go from one place to the next. Here at Fosse, you can, stop and you can breathe and you can network with other people and also meet a lot of wonderful people. The driving force is really that thirst, that quest for knowledge and to find out who you are and how you fit in the world. And it's something that I'm constantly searching for. I feel like I'm constantly changing hats for the different places that I go, the different people that I meet. And the struggle is bittersweet because there are so many challenges, so many ups and downs. And there is a glass ceiling, I feel sometimes, but I feel that you can always break through that glass ceiling. And the work that I do, I hope that I can help some of the students actually break through that mold and that ceiling. I didn't want to be Filipino because nobody knew what Filipino was. So growing up in the area I did, everyone was blonde, blue hair, blonde, blue eyes, and the typical American suburban area. So when it came up to Culture Day, no one knew that there was the Philippines. No one even knew. They thought that I was either Chinese or Japanese. And I remember when I was a kid, there was another student. We were watching a documentary on the Native Americans, and there was a young woman who came up on the screen with the long black hair. And he goes, "Rose, that's you. You're an Eskimo." So from then on, my name was just Rose the Eskimo. And when I was younger, I'd always want to be someone different. But then it wasn't until I reached college that I started learning more about my culture, about who I am, when I felt comfortable. It was my first Filipino club meeting in Stony Brook, my college. And I walked into the room and there were over 100 other Filipino faces. And I thought, wow, I guess this is where I belong. So one of the stories that I have is I have a student, and it was a senior year, and he was kind of forced to do community service hours. So he came to our office wanting to really do more of the paperwork and filing. Instead, I brought him into the leadership development program where we did workshops. And one of the workshops that we did was a debate about being Filipino and about being Filipino American and where you would fit in. And in the beginning, he hesitated. He thought that it wouldn't help him at all, ever. So he graduated, and after his first semester, he came back to me and he said, "Rose, remember that workshop that I went to about being Filipino and about being Filipino American?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I used that workshop in my first essay for college," and he got an A on his paper. So I kind of felt that came back full circle for me, that a student who didn't really want to be there or do anything actually was able to learn something and to take something with him. Young Filipino women now are very strong, very independent, free thinkers who are the driving forces behind many businesses. In academics, you see the women, and it's wonderful. It's like our agency is all run by women. So there's, all of our staff are all females, and they are there. We're not quiet. We're loud. We'll say what we need to say, and we'll push through.